let's take a look at our top selections for the... Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer. The feature race at Arlington Park on Saturday is the Grade 3 Chicago Stakes. Let's take a peek at this field. Fillies and mares going 7/8 of a mile over the Arlington Poly track. It's a big field. It's a pretty evenly matched group, Mike. And the horse on the outside, the 11, Dream a Little Dream of You, is the 5-2 morning line favorite, and she's coming into this race in very good form. The question is this distance a little sharp for her?
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I generally don't mind horses cutting back, Dan, and this horse, is cutting back only to 7, though. I don't know. I guess she's the horse to beat. She showed she can handle a synthetic track 2 starts back.
And as we throw up the Timeform U.S. pace projector, we'll see 2 horses expected to spar for the lead. The 9, Ambassador Luna, the 1, WW Fitzy. I think WW Fitzy, if ridden aggressively, might be a tad quicker.
I thought the same thing, Dan. I feel like this horse being drawn to the rail probably should come out running and try to make the lead in here. I mean, she's cutting back in distance too, but I think it's actually a good thing for her.
And she's also very, very versatile in terms of running style, in terms of distance, in terms of surface. She's won on synthetic in the past. As a matter of fact, a stakes winner at Arlington going a 1-turn mile. Caught a wet track and a real sharp horse last time out at Oaklawn on dirt.
Yeah, I had an excuse last time, I suppose. More than anything else, she just feels like she comes into this race in really good form. And as you mentioned, she was a stakes winner over this track at a 1-turn mile a couple of years ago as a 3-year-old. And even at that time, Dan, she was in good form on dirt. They switched her over to synthetic, and she eventually got that stakes win. They're sort of doing the same thing here. She's in good form now. They're switching surfaces.
Now, the winner of that last race did come back to run second at Churchill in a stake with a 94 buyer. The 2 is She Can't Sing. She Can't Sing added blinkers for her most recent start at Arlington Park. Perhaps the blinkers helped, but it certainly didn't hurt that she only had to face 2 foes.
Yeah, she only beat a couple of horses in there, got the job done with blinkers on. That was only going 5. She's going to stretch out to 7 here. I mean, she is another horse who comes into this race in really good form. And she's been pretty versatile as well. She's good on dirt. She's good on turf. So she can do a lot of different things.
It'll be the synthetic debut for the number 3, Compelling Smile, who's going to likely need some pace help. She's a 1-run closer. She makes her 3rd start of the form cycle. I guess this is acceptable synthetic breeding. Constitution wins 14% of the time, according to Formulator Sire statistics. And this horse has run okay on turf and has run well, obviously, on dirt.
Yeah, we'll see. She's got to switch surfaces here, which I guess, could be a question mark, although she feels like she's going to be a great price in here. So if you like her, I don't think I'd worry too much about it. Another horse who comes into this race, Dan, off of a career best performance.
4 is Mind Out. Some angles here. You're going second off the layoff, shedding blinkers, turf to synthetic, route to sprint. The horse has run okay on synthetic in the past, although that was over the Tapeta surface at Golden Gate Fields. She'll try Polytrack here, a very well-bred daughter of Tappet.
Yeah, that last synthetic race was a little bit different as far as surface goes, and it was a longer race too. I thought she ran, okay in that race, Dan. She got wired by the winner, and she was sort of slowly making ground. It didn't look like she was ever going to win, but I guess she ran fine, all things considered. She's more interesting to me, not only because she's a price, just because it feels like this is really what she's bred for. She's a have to miss mischief who, she was good on dirt, but she was really good on synthetic.
Synthetic debut for the 5, Amazima, who cut all the way back in the race we're going to show you right now at Keeneland. 5.5 furlong race on the turf, and she was 4 wide on the turn. She finished evenly to be 3rd that day. She, I think, is going to appreciate getting out to 7 furlongs. She's done good work on 2-turn races on turf. It's all about the surface. Noble Mission only about 10% with synthetic winners.
Yeah, that was my only concern with her was the surface switch, because she is a horse who on form fits pretty well in this race. She ran fine when they cut her all the way back last time. And that's not a race that I love necessarily. I didn't think she did a ton of running to be 3rd in there. That was kind of a backwards turf sprint there where all the speed stopped and the horses that were off the pace came and filled it out. But you're right, 7 furlongs is probably better for her.
Club Car, the number 6, has run well on dirt and has kept good company. Let's watch her last race at Pimlico, the Skeetbat Stakes, going 3/4 of a mile. She was able to save ground under Jose Ortiz. The inside seemed to be the place to be here. Chubb Wagon on the outside made it 6 for 6 in this race, would come back to make it 7 for 7, winning the Shine again with a 92 buyer. Club Car's in good form as sort of a closing sprinter. 7's okay, and she's already stakes placed on Polytrack at Turfway.
Yeah, I mean, all those things just sort of add up to make her a logical horse in this race, I think, Dan. Her recent form's very good. The one synthetic race there at Turfway back in December, I mean, she blew a clear stretch lead. But man, she was contesting that pace all the way. The winner came from way out of it and ran her down in there. I thought she actually ran really well in that race.
Abby Hatcher is the number 7, runner-up last time out at Arlington. Let's go back 3 starts to Tampa Bay Downs, a non-winners of one other than allowance on the turf. And Abby Hatcher made a nice, strong mid-move into the teeth of this race, keeps on going to grind it out. Her Beyer speed figures are a little bit light, but she has won on synthetic overseas. And the horse that beat her last time out came back to run second with an 80 Beyer. She's going to need to improve a little bit, but I think she has a puncher's chance from the back.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I thought she would have to improve to beat these horses, but she's very lightly raced. You kind of don't have to worry about surface with her. She's going to be a price in here. There are ways to make cases for her.
First time new barn for the 8 Maria Foot, who is a stakes winner on synthetic in France. She's yet to win in North America, but she's taken on some pretty decent competition on the grass.
Yeah, she has faced some quality rivals on the grass, that's for sure. I guess the problem is you just don't really know how good she is. The surface switch isn't supposed to hurt her at all.
Ambassador Luna, the number 9, is a horse that's run well on dirt, has run well on turf. The Sire Brethren, it's too early to tell, only 1 for 28 with synthetic runners. For me, the major concern is the 7. This horse is more of a 5.5 furlong turf sprinter.
Yeah, I worry about 7 furlongs with this horse too, but I guess she could show speed in here. We'll see how fast they decide to come out of there running with her. And I was also just a little concerned with the surface switch, Dan, because she was here at Arlington Park a couple of summers ago, and they didn't even try to get her on synthetic. They just kept her on the grass course. So it feels like maybe the surface could be a question as well.
6-1 looks like a square price on the number 10, Our Baby Ruth, another horse trying synthetic for the first time, but those candy rides can do anything. 18% winners on synthetic, and Our Baby Ruth ran into Daddy as a Legend, who's a quality horse in her most recent turf outing at Keeneland. That horse came back to run a good third in the Just a Game, a grade 1 at Belmont with a 96 Beyer. So from a class standpoint, she fits. She turns back in distance. We'll see if 7's sharp for her.
Yeah, I feel like the 7's going to be okay for her. She's a very versatile horse. You can use her speed. You can take her back and try to make one run. She'll do anything you want. I think she's a little underrated, Dan. And so she's the kind of horse I could definitely be interested in using in here at the right price. I mean, obviously, there are still some questions as far as surface goes, but I think she's pretty good.
And in many ways, the 11, Dream a Little Dream of You, is the horse to beat, is the morning line favorite for Brad Cox. This horse has won on dirt, synthetic, and turf, and gave a good go of it last time out in the grade 3 Allaire DuPont. Let's watch that race at Pimlico. Dream a Little Dream of You took the bull by the horns in this race, but she was pushed by Spices Nice, the 7-figure daughter of Curl and trained by Todd Pletcher, running in the Fleur de Lis on Saturday at Churchill Downs. Dream a Little Dream of You ran really well, just caught a better filly on this day.
Yeah, just not good enough to hold off Spices Nice, but she was all heart in this race. Dream a Little Dream of You, very game performance. Her win at Turfway 2 back, I also thought that was good. Then to me, that looked like a race that she could have lost, except that the runner up there just wasn't good enough to beat her. That horse had all the momentum and then just couldn't get by her at the end. But this horse, in a lot of ways, she's just a horse to beat in here as she cuts back.
Top pick time for the grade 3 Chicago. You can go so many different ways in here. WW Fitzy's likely to show good early speed, Mike, a proven commodity over this track. Fast fig 2 back.
And those are all the things that I like about her. She's in good form right now. She has speed from the rail and she handles the surface. I'm going to try her at a little bit of a price.
I like Amazima getting out to 7. I think the 5.5 was a little sharp for her last time out on the turf. We'll see how she handles the surface switch. That's kind of a big deal for me. I'm not sure if she's going to be as effective on synthetic at turf, but I think she's an underrated form, and I think she's going to close at 7 at a decent price. 1,465 for Mike, 5,1116 for me. The grade 3 Chicago is Saturday's feature at Arlington Park.